Yes.
Go ahead and call to order the Town of Ocean Ridge Special Magistrate Code Enforcement hearing for Tuesday, December 3rd, 2019. It is officially 10 o'clock. My name is Amity Barnard. I'm the Special Magistrate for today's hearing. What I'm going to do first is swear those of you who are going to be speaking today in. If you could rise and raise your right hand for me if you're going to be speaking on any of the items on today's agenda. Do you both swear or affirm that the testimony that you're about to give is truthful and accurate under penalty of perjury and the laws of the state of Florida?
I do.
Thank you both. Since it appears we have a respondent in the audience who will be testifying, there's only one case on today's agenda. The process is going to be as follows. Once you hear your item called, approach the podium. The town will go ahead and put on their case first, present documents to you, show them to me, ask you questions, have a bit of a dialogue. You'll then be given an opportunity to question any witnesses called by the town. Ask me any questions, give me any evidence that you think I need to consider in contemplating this matter. Once we're finished, I'll make a ruling. If you have any questions along the way, let me know. Feel free to stop me as we go. With that, the town can start with its first case.
Yes, Your Honor. This is case number 2019-008. It's for the address at 6273 North Ocean Boulevard in Ocean Ridge, Florida. And I would like to point out on the agenda we have four code sections that we are claiming that there was a violation of. I would like to go ahead and remove code section 6761 from that list. That's actually where we've been modifying our code in different places. That's an incorrect site there. So Mr. Cameron will present evidence that there are violations of sections 67-1, 67-10, and 67-4 to you, and we have photographic evidence of that as well. I would also, and before I turn it over to Mr. Cameron, I would also like to mention that we do have admin fees of $262.55 that we would like those to be paid as well. Let me see the file. When I hand the file to you, I would like for that to be entered into the record, but I will turn it over to Mr. Cameron right now where he can kind of mention some of the violations. I apologize. I don't know if you have the file there. Okay, I can give it. Okay, you're okay? Okay, got it. You know it? Okay.
Do you want to show it to the respondent first?
Sure.
Do we want to have an appearance first for the record?
Okay.
Okay.
And this includes exhibits 1 through 9 from the town. And you will see on exhibit 9 of the photographs, it also shows posting of the property as well. Under, I think it was October 7th when those were posted. And I'll go ahead and let Mr. Cameron go ahead and talk about that, about some of the violations now, if that's okay.
Sure thing, and I'll just, before he begins his testimony, I'll just let the record reflect that I skipped over the minute adoption. I will turn to that after item C. Thank you. Go ahead, sir.
Okay. Hi, good morning. The file in front of you is referencing the construction site maintenance of the property, which is currently under construction. There's a new home being built there. However, it's in violation of those codes as cited, 67-1, 67-10, and 67-4-4. One of the issues is the unsafe electrical that occurred during part of the construction process. The pictures will show that. As you go through the pictures, I can explain each one as we're going through. The second thing is the impact that it has on the adjacent properties. They're building a site wall, and during that construction of the site wall, the foundation of the adjacent property site wall needs to be mitigated during that process. The respondent is here, in which he is committed to me, and I am quite understanding of his undertaking. It's a difficult undertaking because he's working in a small confined space to attain what he's attaining. However, at the present time, there are certain safety precautions that need to be in place. Rebar is exposed and sticking upright with no protection on it. So there is a safety factor to the construction workers, and based on what we're looking at currently.
Okay, and can you just, for the sake of the record, the code sections that you have referenced here, can you give me a general idea of what those code sections, what the violations are?
It's,
Do you have them in here?
it's in
Oh,
the
I see.
book, yeah, it's in the,
Next
the whole
exhibit.
section's right there. It's really the whole thing of the construction site maintenance from adversely affecting neighboring properties, through debris and so on.
Okay.
And I guess, Mr. Cameron, when would you like for him to come into compliance on that, as far as these violations?
As soon as possible. He's already expressed that he needs more time to come into that compliance, and I'm willing to work with him, whatever he needs to do.
Okay, so I mean, are we recommending like, what, 30 days
30,
or that?
30
Okay.
days, if they get it done in 30 days, they'll be able to address. The immediate concern of the rebar being exposed, if that could be addressed quicker, not 30 days. The other site related items like the dirt and so on, that's fine, but anything else life safety, I need immediate attention on that one, which is the electrical and the rebar.
Okay, and when you say immediate, I mean, is that within the week, 5 to 10 business days, or what are you looking at?
Within 5 days.
Okay.
Can you approach the podium,
Yeah.
sir?
Yeah.
And state your name for the record, thank you.
Rick Wingate.
Thank you.
So the rebar caps will be on there immediately. That's not an issue. They've been ordered to be delivered to the site probably to this afternoon or tomorrow morning. That'll be finished. There were some there. We kind of demobilized the site and took everything away, and we're bringing it back. The electrician is coming out to address the electrical issue. So I imagine that'll be done in the next week. Right now, I was out there this morning inspecting it, and the wire is not exposed. What happened was the conduit broke. So there could be some sort of a safety issue, but at present time, it's okay. But we do need to fix it.
If necessary, then de-energize the line. That's it, if it needs to be done.
Okay.
If
Well, I'm
it
not
can't-
able to do that. We're not a licensed electrician, but he is
If, no, that's what I'm
coming
getting.
out.
When the
I-
electrician gets out, if he's
yeah,
not able to
I called him
remedy
again
the
this morning
situation.
to tell him the emphasis of coming out and making sure that it's safe and correct.
That's all.
Okay.
And then I think just to finish up with their part, Special Magistrate, we would, 30 days to come in compliance with all the violations, otherwise a $250 per day fine per violation, given the fact of the length of time that these violations have been ongoing, the history of the project, and the numerous violations on the project. So that's what we would be requesting.
Okay, and just so that we're clear, are you okay with compliance in 7 days for the two life safety issues?
Yes,
Okay, and just for the record, those are electrical,
the electrical and the exposed rebar without safety caps, which are the vertical rebars that are exposed.
and what's the deficiency with the electrical?
The electrical, the conduit, has been broken, and physical damage to electrical wiring is highly possible if not addressed.
And the electrical, I need to,
It's live electrical wires that
Live
are
electrical.
not in conduit and exposed. And is subject to physical damage.
and the remaining violations, compliance within 30 days is what the
Correct.
town is asking. And those times seem reasonable to you, sir?
That should be fine.
Okay.
And we would also want the admin fees of the $262.55 to be paid within 30 days as well.
Certainly, let me just look through all these pictures. And is the electrical wiring, is that a violation of the building code section that you have cited there?
It's,
And not section 67, is that right?
it's a violation of the electrical code.
While I'm looking at these pictures, town attorney, can you give me 7-day dates, 7 and 30-day dates, so we can set dates in
Sure.
the order? Do you have any questions for myself or for the town?
I do not.
Thank you, sir.
And the dates I'm looking at for the compliance with the two issues, the rebar and the electrical, would be December 12th,
Okay.
if that would be okay. And then January 3rd would be the 30-day date to comply with all the other violations, which is mostly construction site maintenance.
Correct.
And the town at this time, despite the life safety issues, is not looking for authorization to abate those two?
No.
No.
Okay, so after hearing all the testimony by both the town and the respondent, I'm going to make the following findings of fact and conclusions of law. I'm first going to enter into the record composite exhibit 1 as presented by the town. I'm going to find that notice is good and sufficient via both certified mailings, international mailing, and as well as posting by the town of the notices to the property. I'm going to find that the respondent is in violation of sections 67-1A, B, H, and I, 67-10, A and B, 67-4, subpart 1, and the Florida Building Code 6th edition, section 110.9 of the town's code of ordinances for failure to remove construction debris from a construction site, storage of equipment, and also the deficient electrical conduit, and also the exposed rebar. I'm going to, with regard to the more severe issues regarding the electrical conduit, the live wiring, and the exposed rebar, require compliance within 7 days or by December 10th, 2019.
Well, I think we'd meant December 12th.
I'm sorry,
Maybe if
December
we
12th.
can go with December 12th, yes.
That's fine, December 12th, 2019, or face a fine of $250 per day if that violation is not cured by December 12th. For the remaining issues on site, I'm going to require that you comply by January 3rd of 2020, or again face a $200 per day fine for those violations. The next hearing, if necessary, is going to be on January, what is it, this? Fine assessment hearing would be on January 7th, is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so if, in the event that you do not comply with those code sections within the time specified, you need to appear at that hearing on January 7th, 2020. I'm also going to assess the town's administrative costs in the amount of $262.55 for costs for today's hearing, payable within 30 days. And with that, you will get an order in the mail, basically reiterating all of those things that I just stated. Anything further from the town?
No, Your Honor.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
And now we'll turn back to adoption of item A on the agenda, which is adoption of the November 5th, 2019 special magistrate meeting minutes. I reviewed those minutes. I didn't have any revisions to them, so I'll hereby adopt them right now. Anything further from the town?
No.
Thank you. We'll move to adjourn then.
Okay.